Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nicole Robinson coming to you again with another episode of Meet the Mustangs. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Tyjee Williams, number 29 of the Connecticut Mustangs. So, how are you doing today, Tyjee?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Good, good. Let me ask you before I really get into any of the football talk. We're going through a crazy time right now with this pandemic. So, how has it affected you and your family, and how are you guys handling that?
Um, I feel like it's affected my family pretty strenuous, kind of. I'm originally from New Jersey. I'm not from Connecticut,
Mhm.
so all of my family is in New Jersey. So I really haven't seen them as much because of the pandemic and the different quarantine laws that have been going on. But I s- it's more so like I'm talking to my family a lot more now though. I've grown a lot closer with them, I can say. So it's been some kind of benefit with the pandemic going on.
Well, that's pretty good. That's good. Got to stay close to that family.
Yeah.
So why don't you just start with telling me a little bit about where you're from in New Jersey, and some of the things that you like to do, like growing up with your childhood, and a little bit about your family and everything.
Oh, I'm born and raised in Clifton and Patterson, New Jersey. More than so like the northern part of New Jersey. Started playing football around like the age of like 10, 11 years old. Started from like the JPD, the junior player development level. Um, then moved up, started playing tackle. Uh, my like 11 years old. I was like the smallest kid on my tackle team. I was like 5'6", maybe like 110 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like really tiny. But I ended up like starting like my first year ever playing, starting running back, starting corner. And then the love just grew. Went to my second year, caught an injury, ended up breaking my leg after the first week of the season. Back to my last play. So that put me out from my eighth grade season, which was supposed to be like a big season for me to be able to get into like a really good high school. I still ended up going to like a very good high school. I ended up going to the great school, Passaic County Technical Institute in Wayne, New Jersey. Um, played freshman, sophomore, JV, varsity, worked my way up. Um, then tragic, junior going to my junior season, and I'm having a heart surgery. Well, heart procedure, not necessarily surgery, but I had a small heart procedure. So put me out for a couple weeks. I ended up coming back, gaining some time varsity, and I'm gaining a spot for my senior season. Had a great senior season. Um, was like the second on my team, led second on my team in tackles for that season. Ended up getting recruited to grade school, University of New Haven. Played my college ball there. Played there from about 2012 to 2015. Then started to really focus on school and really I made some decisions for myself. And I stopped playing. And then took time off from working out, from school, from basically football. Just took my time off from everything, and then was like, I want to play again. And then I heard about the Mustangs. Coach Brett actually lives in my building, so I was like, you know what, I'm here. He's here. He's been talking to me about it for like a year now. So I was like, you know what, let me go see what they're talking about. Went out to a practice one time. And I fell in love.
I hear that. So, let me ask you. Say you started playing at around 10 years old. How old are you now?
I'm 25.
Okay, so it's been about a good 15 years that you have been playing. And I know you said, talking to coach, it made you, come back onto the field and you fell in love. But it kind of sounds like, although you've had certain things, happen throughout your football, the past 15 years of you playing football, it's like you never actually really lost your love for this game.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely didn't. When I took my so I played for a consecutive like a 10-year span, and then it's been like 5 years since I like was on a football field. It's been like 5 years. It was like October of 2015. is when I stopped playing. But in between that time, I actually started coaching. I took up coaching. I started coaching flag football in the New England Flag Football League. I was a coach for the 12U team based out of New Haven, and then I was coaching for the Tri-City Wolfpack for one season as well for the 12U team. So my love for football never actually left. It was my love for playing had fell off for a little bit. But once I realized, like, you know what, I'm still young, I can still move, like I'm still fast, I can still hit somebody, like I'm gonna go play.
So would you say when you came onto the field for the first time after talking to coach, it like kind of just all just brought back something that said, you know what, this is like where I belong, like the football field is where I belong.
Playing on the field is where I belong. Like coaching is one thing. I love to be able to teach the game. Like I've learned a lot over my years of playing football. I've learned a lot. I've played with some very, very, very great players, some amazing talent. So I feel like I've gained a lot of tools to be able to teach the younger generations to help them get ahead of where I was able to get to,
Yeah.
But to be out there like that first time and then seeing that I can still move and I can grasp what the defense is doing and seeing that it's not that difficult, realizing it's not that difficult and I can still move out there. It just helped me realize, like, man, you got it. Like, you can do this.
Well, that's good. And I'm glad you still are, like you said, you're still young, you're still able to do what you love. So I'm actually glad that it's one of those things you recognize before it was too late. So you're not going to have those, man, I wish I could have still been playing football. I wish I would have gone back, because you are, you're back and you're basically doing something that you love and that you never lost. So would this be your first year playing with the Connecticut Mustangs?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, hopefully you guys are able to get out there on that field, because that is something that, like, most of the guys that I've interviewed, that's all they're talking about, like being able to just get out there on that field and play with the team this summer. So hopefully that happens. What position are you playing with the team? Do you know? Or if you don't know, what position would you like to play with the team?
So far during defense, I've been playing basically like a defensive back. I'm mainly like a free safety, strong safety. I can play either or, but wherever Coach Brett want to put me, I'm getting on the field.
Okay. Now, you mentioned before that you were one of the smallest people on the team when you started, when you were like 10 or 11. Are you still one of the smallest guys now?
Um, no. Nah, I don't think so. I'm my height is what it is. I'm a good 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. My weight, I'm about like 180, but I'm
Okay, so
hoping
yeah.
like 185, 190, like playing weight. I'm
Okay,
working out,
yeah.
eating right, doing what I got to do.
Exactly. You're, small enough to be still quick enough to get through the small spaces, but you're still big enough to hold your own on that field. So
Right,
that's most important.
right. As long as I ain't
Okay.
getting pushed around, I'll be good.
Exactly. Okay, so you mentioned that you were still young enough to play, to realize that you could still play on the field, and that's something that you love to do. So how many more years do you feel like you have left in you to actually play this game of semi-pro football?
uh, the way my body's feeling now with getting back into like a consistent training schedule and like improving my diet, I think I still got probably like a good like 3 to 5 more years in me at least. That I'll still be able to run around.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a long time, because like you said, it's getting back into that I guess that regimen of being on that diet and practicing and stuff. But some of the other guys, it's not too, like, you guys are all pretty much around the same age. Not
Mm-hmm.
too many that are older than you, but some of the older ones have said, as long as I'm still feeling the way that I'm feeling, I'm going to be playing football. So I guess it's just one of those things where if you feel good and
Right.
you look good, you're out there, you're playing, you're going to give it what you have. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely commend you for coming back and realizing that this is something that you want to do. Glad that I guess it was fate that the coach lives in your building.
It really like it was a decision that's been like bothering me like for the last like 2-3 years, just because like I have a lot of friends back in New Jersey that are playing semi-pro. My best friend, who's basically like my brother, who's like been was a great inspiration to me. My brother Darian, he's like he went through a lot of troubles, but he was one of the best football players that I've ever seen in my life. And even after all of his struggles that he went through, he still was able to turn his life around and get back into playing football, and is now playing semi-pro football in New Jersey. And seeing him do that alone was a big inspiration for me. So like, if he can do it, like, why can't I? You know.
Yeah, that's good. So let me ask you, so besides for the love of the game, just for the love of football, what do you wish to get out of playing with the Mustangs?
Um, Definitely to keep up on my health. You know, before like playing football was like a set decision. One thing I wanted to focus on during the quarantine was improving my health. Because over the past 5 years, I did fall off from working out and eating right, and the things that you need to basically like live long.
Yeah.
Um, During the quarantine, like once the quarantine started and like I'd stay at home, at first it was mostly like I was just laying around, not doing nothing, eating whatever, going to McDonald's, ordering out all the time. But then I realized like, all right, like I can't do this every day. I can't keep living like this. So one day I just went out for a jog, and next day I went out for another jog, and then I started making smoothies. My parents are very, 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 very big on nutrition. My mother was a God, thank the Lord, my mother's a breast cancer survivor.
Oh,
So
wow.
ever since then, she's been very, 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 very high on her health. And so I've been talking to her about different smoothies and stuff to make, like, so for myself. And I just got on a big health kick basically in
Wow.
March, could hit big health kick. So staying with the Mustangs, I'm just hoping like it helps me like keep my health right.
Well, that's good. That's definitely good. And I'm pretty sure that it will because, you mentioned just wanting to like you're basically saying like you want to stay healthy, you want to be healthy. And like I'm far from a health person, but I do know that like when you fall off of certain things and you get back on it and you're so motivated that you're going to be able to stay on that right path. So that's really good that you are, as motivated as you are to just stay healthy, um, be healthy, and, honestly play football. So basically, besides football, what other things occupy your time? Like, I don't know if well, I'm assuming you're not married or assuming no kids or anything like that.
No,
You haven't mentioned anything, but what
no,
other what other hobbies do you do?
so well, I do work. I do have a job. um, I am basically a social worker at the Children Community Programs of Connecticut.
Nice.
I work for the Youth Transition and Services program there. So that's one thing that occupies my time. Also, other than that, I'm at home. I read a little bit. I listen to some music. Uh, Work out. I'm a pretty easygoing guy.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty
I
easygoing guy.
see. I see.
I hang out with my friends most of the time. Like I said, I'm not from here, so I developed like a very, very close knit family of friends out here.
Hmm.
So if I'm not like at work or if I'm not working out, most of the time I'm spending my time with them. I do have a roommate also, so I do spend a lot of my time with him.
Oh, that's nice. So I know you mentioned like being from Jersey, and then you mentioned your parents. Is everyone still in Jersey besides you? Or are your parents here in Connecticut with you?
Nope, they're in New Jersey also.
Oh, wow. So you're pretty much in Connecticut by yourself.
Pretty much. I do have some cousins that live in the New Haven area, but unfortunately, we're not that close. So
Yeah.
I don't speak to them often. But you know, Jersey's only an hour and a half away, so I do try to sneak off and get back when I can.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty good. At least you still have Jersey to call home, and pretty soon you'll be able to say Connecticut is your second home. So, that's good.
Yeah, I think I've gotten to the point now where I can say Connecticut is like a second home to me.
So let me ask you, where do you see yourself next after life with the Mustangs? When you decide that playing football on the field is done for you, what do you see yourself doing next?
Um, I've always had the dream of opening up my own training facility for high school athletes, and eventually turning it into a whole chain line of gyms and training facilities across the country. Starting with the East Coast, I do want to open up a facility in Connecticut before I do plan to leave the state. Then move up and down the East Coast, basically. But training high school athletes has been like a dream for me since I'll say like a junior, senior in high school. When I like really started training, I was upset that I never got into training as like when I first started like playing football, as like I should have. So that's something I always want to like give back. Like a big thing for me is always giving back somehow, some way, using my talents to give it back to the community, to the youth. Um, so opening up a training facility for high school athletes that you know don't know about training facilities, and they think that they got to just do at home workouts and stuff. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't get you to where you got to be, but I want to give people like that edge, that next level.
Wow, that's interesting, because I always tell people like, it's really nice to have like positive male role models for the younger kids, but especially when you have like these positive black male role models for our children to see, that's especially good because a lot of kids well, excuse me, a lot of black kids, I would say, they are from certain areas and they feel like this is as best that they're going to get. And when you have people who look like them, talk like them, walk like them, who are successful and who are trying to give back to them, it's better for them because then you can relate to them on a different level than just sports, and that's something that they can take with them for a really long time. So I definitely commend you for that because not too many people um they want to give back to their communities, but they look at it like, okay, I'm going to give back so that my name could be in lights and I can,
Oh
people
yeah.
understand who I am. But you're talking about giving back to the children of the community, so
Mm-hmm.
that's really good because you realize that these kids are looking up to you and they need positive people. So I
Yeah,
definitely,
I'm a big advocate for let the people in your community be the role models. Stop looking to the celebrities and the athletes to
yes,
be the role models. Not saying that these aren't great men, like they're LeBron James of the world, the Kobe Bryant of the world. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Like they're great men. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but they're great men. And they are great role models. But at the same time, you have somebody right there next door, like your
yeah,
next door neighbor, who could be a
yeah.
great man, a great positive role model, but you're so blind. Like kids nowadays are so blinded by social media and everything that's going on their phones and on TV that they don't even notice that they have a positive role model right standing right next to them.
Exactly, exactly. And then by you, being on this team with these other positive black role models, and even, some like everybody on the Mustangs is not like, a young black male, but there are so many positive males on that team that when you do start this facility, some of these guys who you might form some kind of brotherhoods with and something could also be the ones to help you with that. So it's like, keeping it in the family and keeping it in the community. So that's really, definitely a positive thing that you guys are gonna be doing.
Oh yeah, networking is always a thing.
Yes,
Networking is always
yes,
a
it
thing.
is. Yes, it is. So let me just ask you one last question for this evening. What would you like to add to this interview for anyone that's going to see this so that they know who exactly they're getting when they see Tyjee Williams out on the field with the Connecticut Mustangs?
Just know they're about to get a huge ball of energy come that first game. This is somebody that's coming off of 5 years of not playing football, and I got so much pent up that y'all might see me cry before every game. That's how emotional I get. That's how much I love like the game of football and playing, and being out there and just going to war with my brothers, man. Like that's the big thing for me. I go to war. I've been in 2 practices. I go to war with these dudes. Like it's all
Well,
love. Like I love the game, and I'm just ready to get it.
Oops, I hear that, and I hope you guys hear it as well. You guys heard it from Mr. Tyjee Williams. Get ready because he is coming after 5 years, and he is ready to get on that field and do what he has to do for you guys to see him. I would like to thank you for taking your time out today to speak with me. And you guys, this has been another episode of Meet the Mustangs with Mr. Tyjee Williams, number 29 of the Connecticut Mustangs.